guess technically while we're in this, um, unfortunately because of the situation Simomar's in, so he's gonna have to stay 6th level until he can get a rest. But the rest of you could level to 7. Yes. Um, and so anything that changes, like in any new features, you'll have to do downtime for. Is a feature which Vort was talking about spells. Spells aren't a new feature, so you unless you didn't have spells from that class before. Good chunk of stuff that you guys. Last week, as we were en route to Black City, uh, you guys had found the called Bandit Camp. Mixing of words, bandits or refugees, depending on what you're looking at. Could have been right or wrong. Um, Disabled traps, talks with them. You were going to pick up more refugees, but they had already been teleported away. You had continued on with your giant caravan towards the Black City, crossed a lot more traps, dealt with those, a traveling merchant, which were dealing in alchemic supplies. One of your group decided they were going to try and see if you could do a refill on one of the drinks, just a root in glass. And they said they never tried that before. Give it a try. So Mar drank it and then proceeded to fall through the world. Yes, Tides of Chaos had, and you were still drunk. Um, Cut over to Simamar, floating in the astral sea, moving around, found a color pool and jumped in it. Got back to the group traveling as they were doing what they could and sending messages to Simimar to see what was up with him and where he was. That's where we did the session. Did anyone want to add anything to that? That up to it was a multicolored portal. A rainbow would be like organized and like whoosh. This is just swirls of color and this and that, and if that is a whole bunch of different colors in no order, just all over the place, then yes. As you step through, the ground is solid. The air is breathable. As you look around in this vast open area, you can see pillars off in the distance. You can see the ground rolling, kind of like twisting a little bit on the left, rolling on the right. Ice jetting up here, fire spurting out over there. Thanks for the raid. So how are you going to do this? All right, roll perception as you look around. As you take in a better glimpse of what's going on, you see rocks floating in the air, bashing into each other, smaller ones colliding and floating off. You hear thunderous roars in the distance. You see ginormous creatures. You see this pinging. Yeah, you see this creature over here. Lava, dirt, water swirling on it. Uh, it has a head in the picture, but you do not see a head on this thing because I couldn't find a picture that wanted to describe this with a head, without a head. So you see this thing walking. You see behind it, in this direction, across the plains and down, you see a wall of fire moving, and this caravan of flaming carts. Some individuals look like they're on fire. As you can peer past that, you see a ginormous phoenix made of fire and water. Way over here in the corner. This creature here is lightning, thunder. You hear these weird boom booms, like a sonic boom, as it is riving, and you see as it tries to move, it is chained to that pillar it is on. Over in this direction, up against that pillar, you see wind. You see this black smoke, this green mist just swirling around that creature as it is stuck on that pillar. You see over here, everything in this realm is changing, is rolling, is massing. Over there is a three-tiered structure. Uh, from what you can tell, it looks like a city. Um, it is looks like it's surrounded by a sphere, and it is constantly raining. You can see at the bottom of this three-tiered city, there seems to be some sort of river or moat that goes around it. Um, and as it drips away from this city and it leaves this sphere, whatever water leaves, the rain, whatever the river flows out, it turns into lava. It turns into rocks as they fall into that cavern below. Hello, odd or even. Roll a D100 and pick. As you turn around, portal is engulfed with lava, but what you're standing on is still solid. Turns to ice. How do you want? Yes, the ground below you is now ice. Solid. You look you look down and you can see a good 6 feet before your vision is lost. Obscurity of the ice. Just after you left this chunk, the earth, the ground starts to rumble a little bit, and you see this worm pop up, not in the silver material, but next to it, and just eats that ball that you were just messing with. It is a gargantuan worm with tentacles coming out of its face, and it seems to have fire dripping out of its mouth. You have like 4 carts and 100 chocobos and like 40 people, and no Simamar to make you your section sleeping. How do you guys set this up at night? You hear the roars. Yeah, guy. Not because you had said you had an affinity with the dragons, not dragons. You can hear his armor starts to rattle a little bit, but he does not freak out. Uh, you see, there seems to be six, and three of them drop down to like where the road was. You kind of lose them for a little bit. Uh, do we wake people up? Fort. As you release the spell and enlarge Lars, the dome appears in front of you. As it dome goes straight through the cart next to you. Top of initiative. Cart's fucked up. Cart gets crushed. As you tune in, you try and there and listen. You hear three more creatures which sound like the ones that you guys have just fought. But they appear to be going in the opposite direction. Similar. As you sat down for your long rest, what were you going to do? Reaching in and trying to find your guide. How are you trying to find this guide? And as you are doing this, roll 5 of your choice charisma checks. So 21, 6, 5, 20, and as you're sitting there and concentrating and trying to, um, your half, half asthma, and you've never quite tried this before. You feel yourself um, falling. A normal your asthma side would realize this is falling deeper asleep. Um, but it's different because you've always just tranced, you know? You've always been aware. You feel yourself going deeper and being pulled out of the awareness that you normally have. Well, that's perfect because you did get a 6 and a 5 during this. So as your performance of a 5 and your persuasion of a 6, you were you felt yourself come back awake and you were trying to reach out for it again, and it took longer this time for you to try and grab that feeling again as you started to fall again. Um, you hear faint music, similar to when you were a child, but not quite elven. You hear wings flapping. Uh, you try and look around, and you're falling, but you're looking like you're in this plane that you went to sleep in, you tranced in, and you see these wings, and you see them heading to the city that you're heading to. Uh, and you reach out for them, and you seem to be following them, and you yourself, you feel your arm because you have wings every now and then. You feel you have wings that are sprouted from your back. They feel different. Uh, because I believe when your asthma pops out your wings, they're translucent, right? Yeah, your shoulder blades hurt. You're you're feeling the actual movement of wings of this new appendage from your back as you are flying to the city. And then you catch yourself and you're thrust back and your long rest has gone over. You catch yourself at the last second and kind of like um, roll over to the right as this like bubbling liquid, but not lava, um, almost like engulfed your foot. As you continue on, you see. Oh, okay. Threw me for a loop. Um, you see these little creatures. looks like um, for lack of better description on my side, looks like uh, a brown Pac-Man legs. Seems to be eating dirt. Inches, little creatures. Roll an intelligence check just to make them have you have a solid note of where they were. Like as you're going, and you're like, wow, this is um, you come across, and you know how like normally you are with natural terrain and stuff like that. You're good. In this place, is constantly swirling and turning, and being without your ability to ignore the difficult terrain and be able to do all these other things is jarring and whatnot. Um, as you hit a patch of ice and need another deck save. Uh, and uh, as you're getting to this ice, you notice that, if you just hit this side, it kind of like looks like a ramp, and it'll speed you up, and you can go faster, and you avoid sliding into the lava pit that was on the other side. As you have almost reached this triple layer of a city that has this river flowing around it. There is something swimming in the rivers. I would like to make the last leg to this city, as it is surrounded by a storm, encased in kind of like a, not a hard bubble, but it is encased in some sort of sphere. You can see that inside it is raining, and whenever the rain comes outside the sphere, it turns into acid. It turns into lightning. It turns into rocks. And as you are flying in and avoiding this maelstrom of strange weather, one last dex save. All right. You know what? This is you know high, odd, low, even. Roll D100. See how bad or how good of an element that hits you. All right. Which element does that do? No. Okay. So unfortunately, as you hit this, there's all that going on, and you're watching that, and you kind of like squeeze by, but you weren't paying attention to the sonic as it's just a crack, like this uh, invisible force hits you, and you take 28 sonic damage as you make it through this bubble. That's there's Sonic and Thunder here, just so you know. All right. And with your passive 19 perception, right? You're flying. You're and you're looking down, and you see these uh, bipedal creatures on shore. Looks like they're fishing. Looks like some are near the water. Um, you see one of these creatures goes over and touches a light, and this fish jumps out and swallows the creature. This fish is huge, and has these glowing lights on the end of these tendrils on its head. So I think it's called an anglerfish, but this is more like a dire anglerfish. And you see all these lights in the water, and you see some of these fishermen have pulled up one on the side. As you have reached this city, uh, where there is water surrounding the outside, there is a layer of stone. Then it goes up, 500 feet, and then there's a tier of buildings and structures, and then it goes up 500 feet, and there's another tier, and then it goes up 500 feet for the final tier. Uh, we'll just say you're coming in on this. How high are you? How do you approach this place? Uh, as the rain is pelting you in here, and as you are traveling, uh, in probably a more conventional place, they would be towers. In here, they are spillways of water which shoot out because this place is constantly raining. So on each tier, you see those dots. Those are spillways shooting water come down to the tier below, and then that tier has spillways. That spills to the tier below. Tier below. How fast? Took me a while to figure. Oh, as in your flight? Let's give you one more highly odd chance. Slowly even. Your choice. Up a little. Ah, there is a boat, but it is just out of reach. Want to head to that. Uh, can you swim? Swimming. Give me an athletics. Uh, try as you try. We're just barely keeping afloat in this turmoil as you realize or remember that the place is surrounded by a bubble and all the water is leaking out. So you are not going closer, if starting to go a little back. Uh, but the boat did see you and it is heading your direction. So let's try 3 rolls of athletics. Oh, are you going to try and plane shift again? Uh, roll a dex save. Roll a d100. Uh, as you are swimming and you feel that you are going to sink and you twist that tides of chaos, it helps you a little until you look up and you get pelted 82 points of damage by iridium as it knocks you unconscious. And as you are drifting, can you give me and as you are sinking and drifting, can you give me a charisma save and a con save? All right. Sorry, what was that? Yep. Uh, all right. So the other group, you guys make it your 4 days. You make it to the Black City, Simimar. As you get pelted, and this burning sensation of this iridium falling from the sky, um, knocks you out, and you're drifting down, and you feel this warm sensation in your chest, and feel it's getting warmer, and then you feel this hand reach in your chest, grips onto this thing, and as it's pulling out, you can feel this orb it's pulling out, these wings, as it rips it out of your chest. And there are two possibilities down this road. There is there is storm and there is water. And if you guess highly even, highly lowly odd, or whatever, if you guess right, you get to pick which one. Which one would you rather be? Storm or water? Okay. Which would you which one would you have rather been? So unfortunately, uh, you will be the storm. And I don't have. When you wake up on the fisherman boat, actually, you're going to wake up in a bed and you're going to be storm. And you're going to find out that you're in the place where Genasis are born, which is what pulled you in this direction. Party returned, all together, sitting down for a drink. We've made it to the Black City. Who knows what's next? So which drinking game then? So good old fashioned con saves until fail. You guys ordering weak stuff or strong stuff? All right. Everyone roll a con save who's playing. Everyone rolled who wanted to roll? Is anyone resistant to poison? Get to roll with Anyone immune to poison? Everyone passes out on the first round. Out of character, you know where we are, and when you say strong, they don't go for the weak stuff. They go straight to the top of the end. Everyone's passed out. Thanks for watching, everyone.